Good evening and welcome to Souhegan High School in Amherst, New Hampshire for our Bedford Dental Care Game of the Week tonight. It is the number 7 seeded Souhegan Sabres against the number 10 Hanover Marauders. Hi everybody, Pete Terrier here along with our videographer John Kesty. Division II basketball tonight, preliminary round action, and we got a good one. A matchup of two teams that met not too long ago near the end of the regular season. Hanover knocked off Souhegan right here in Amherst, but tonight it's a different story. It's the playoffs and a little bit of a somber move, but kind of a celebration as well, as former Souhegan High School basketball and football player Tony Barksdale passed away tragically over the weekend at Boston. He's a student now at Boston University. His parents are in the house tonight. They're doing a special tribute to Tony during tonight's game as a celebration of his life and the great kid that he was here at Souhegan and growing up in New Hampshire. And a special tribute tonight is going to be paid to Tony by his friend Brandon Len, who is going to take off the number 11 jersey Brandon Len has made so famous here at Souhegan, becoming the school's all-time leading scorer. He's going to wear Tony's old number 42 tonight in tribute to his fallen friend. We'll have all the highlights coming up, halftime, and then the post-game, the second half highlights, of course, all the post-game reaction. And if you'd like a DVD copy of this game with the entire play-by-play, feel free to hit up Dave Haley via email on our website, nhsportspage.com. Enjoy the game, everybody.
So it goes in slow motion because we turned and looked, and the ball is headed right for our basketball rack. And knowing Tony, that's not going to matter to him. So we're all watching in horror as Tony goes sprinting across the floor, dives, or jumps, gets the ball, throws it back into a teammate, and then he does a somersault over the ball rack. And the basketballs go flying, they go everywhere. Tony flips over the rack, we're all frozen, and then we come sprinting over to make sure he's okay, and he gets up like this. It was a Tony moment. It was Tony smiling. That's how I'm always going to remember him. I think he was bleeding from his elbow.
And lastly, for the Sabres, at guard, 5'10", a senior, wearing number 42 in memory of Tony Barksdale, Brandon Len. Coach for the Marauders,
Brandon Len wearing number 42 in honor of his former fallen teammate, Anthony Barksdale. Kennedy busts free underneath, reverse layup. Simmons now to the left of the top of the key to Len. 3-ball on the way. Tyler Ford falls away. Cannot get it to fall, but Kennedy's there for the offensive rebound and putback. Didn't stop Brandon Len if it was him. Back the other way, got stripped, was able to take control of the basketball. Ford gets it to Kennedy. Nifty move. Double pumps it in, reverse. Team's got two. Ferraris in the lane, turnaround jumper, and he buries it. Pretty much to Souhegan. Len goes top of the key to Simmons. Simmons gets it inside to Kennedy, and Kennedy scores again. Here's Hayes, left side Simmons. Simmons left baseline, drives around the basket, lays it up and in with an acrobatic shot. Trying to find Kennedy in the lane. Kennedy leaves it for Ford. Double pump move and score. Eagle, it got picked off by Rothwell Ferraris. Up ahead, nice take to the hole. Gantris got rejected. Was that A.J. Hayes with the block? They've led all the way here. A.J. Hayes throws it high. Tyler Ford brings it down underneath the Kennedy, and he's got two more. To Gantris in the right corner. Gantris in the lane, pull up from the right side and buries it. Liam Gantris out the offensive rebound to Simmons. Now Len thought about the three, stepped inside the arc, passed to Ford, right side for the layup. Tyler Ford again. Souhegan coming out playing some impassioned basketball tonight on a night where they are honoring their former fallen teammate Tony Barksdale, who passed away, BU student over this past weekend, an untimely death for sure, 19-year-old kid who played both football and basketball here at Souhegan over the last few seasons, graduated last June. Souhegan playing some real good defense. Hanover only 12 points in this game so far at the half, 6 points in each quarter. Souhegan winning it by 16, 28-12. And it's been two football players, ironically, former teammates of Barksdale, tearing it up Tyler Ford, 12 points in the first half. Jake Kennedy, 12 points in the first half. Kennedy had 8 in the first quarter. Ford took over and scored 11 of his 12 in the second quarter. And Souhegan only 2 free throws so far from Brandon Len, who's wearing Barksdale's old number tonight, number 42. But Souhegan is firmly in control. They're playing very inspired, especially on the defensive side, just playing some real hard-nosed defense. Hanover's having problems just getting anything going at all. Cyrus Rothwell Ferraris has 6 of his team's 12 points. 4 of those came on free throws in the second quarter. So they're going to need to pick up the pace offensively in the second half if they want to move on to the D2 quarterfinals, which are coming up on Saturday night. At the half of our Bedford Dental Care Game of the Week, Souhegan up 16, 28-12 on Hanover. Yes, with Brandon Len only scoring 2 points in the first half. Here's Kennedy down low, turn around, fall away. What a lane, bounce pass. Kennedy collects, missed it, made it, got blocked, got it back, threw it up. And then Len steals it, picks the pocket of Ganters, and scores. He drove, got stripped. Linehan up ahead. Greenwald, bounce pass, Gantris, left-handed finish. Hanover. Back to the bounce pass, a nice one to Kent. Waited for the defense and got fouled and scored. That was a smart. Now brings a dribble, poked away by Ford. Ford trying to beat Ferraris to the ball. Slides on the floor. Nice defensive effort though by Greenwald, who knocks it out of bounds. Well, Ferraris brings it up on the dribble. Almost poked away by Len. Now a steal by Kennedy. Up ahead to Len. Over the shoulder catch. Len, the pass to Simmons to the basket and scores. Rebound, 4 comes down with it. Kennedy hit the floor. Here's Ford. Final 5 seconds to Kennedy. He'll take a 3 at the buzzer. And he puts it in! The big guy, Jake Kennedy. It is Ferraris trying to get it inbounds. Does to Linehan. Linehan to Gantrish inside the lane. Hook shot goes. And the foul. Souhegan up 21 again. 46-25. Len in the lane. Nice bounce pass to Ford. Waits on the defender. Rolls it in. And the route is... got picked up. Here comes O'Rourke. O'Rourke down the lane. Stripped by Ford. O'Rourke picks up the loose ball. Takes the 3. It's banked it in. I was going to say it's off the mark. It into Kennedy. Deep on the right wing. Now back to Len. Len trapped. Lost the ball. O'Rourke up ahead to Gantrish. Gantrish takes it strong. Blocked by Simmons. Jump ball. Good D by Simmons. And a final score, 55-33. Souhegan's moving on. Souhegan coach Mike Heaney, victorious, moving on to the quarterfinals. I know you're happy about the win, but to me this was more about the night and the celebration of one of your former players, Tony Barksdale, who passed away. And you guys seem to be really emotional. It was almost like there was someone looking down upon you tonight. There's no question, you know, Jake Kennedy just has a monster game, and at the end of the game as he came out, he gave me a big bear hug. Sorry. And he said Tony was watching us. And that's what we wanted. We wanted to play like that. We wanted to play like we knew he was still in the gym. I know this is difficult, Coach. No, it's okay. It was so interesting because the last couple of days everybody asked me about it. And the boys weren't talking about it, but you could tell they knew it. The emotion was there. They wanted to play for him. So there was no let's win it for Tony. But we had dinner last night and they were saying, you know, if you want to honor Tony tomorrow night, you got to dive for a loose ball. You gotta take a charge. You gotta get up on the glass. Those are the things that he did for us. So to go out and see them do it and have that be part of the reason we won was just, it was phenomenal. And your defense was tremendous. You guys moved the ball on offense. I mean, you held them to 33 points. Hanover's not a high-scoring team, but you held them to 33 points. Probably our best half-court defense of the year. We got up and pressured them a little bit, trying to wear them down a little bit. But then we really did dig in the half-court. You mentioned moving the ball around really well. So excited to see, you know, Tyler Ford score 15 and Jake get 21, and you know, all these. It doesn't have to be Brandon every night, and I think we showed that tonight. We beat a really good, well-coached team where Brandon was just out there getting what he could get and really feeding Tyler and Jake. I have him for 8 points for Brandon, and exactly, you know, there were free throws in the fourth quarter that gave him the 8. Yeah. And I don't think if anybody goes on NASportspage.com tomorrow and looks at that box score and says, they won by 22, how many did Len have? Right. Yeah. They're going to look and say Len must have had 30.
we're so much better when the other guys are doing that. It's one of the things we talk about is, Hanover was running 2 and 3 guys at him, and I'd be doing the same thing if I was Tim. But Brandon didn't force it tonight. He found other guys, and I think Tyler Ford and Jake were just so good on the glass that even when we did rush at times and miss, they went up and got it. They were terrific.
Not sure if you heard the news yet or not, but you're headed to Portsmouth on Saturday night. I'm sure you expected that.
Hadn't heard that. I was curious but hadn't heard that. So yeah, if you're gonna make a run to Durham, you're gonna have to beat somebody really good on the way. So we're looking forward to it. We're excited.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for the time. I know it's been a real tough last few days, and hopefully the healing I think tonight was good.
It will too.
There was a lot of hugs in this gym tonight.
Man, there were.
And it seemed like people actually had smiles on their faces.
I think so too. I needed it. The kids needed it. The parents needed it. I think if we played Tuesday, it might have been difficult. It might have been really hard to get in the gym. We had a couple days to hang out, spend time together. We were ready to play tonight, and now I think we're just ready to go forward.
Souhegan is moving on. They got Portsmouth coming up on Saturday. Thanks, Coach. Souhegan Sabres victorious tonight against the Hanover Marauders, number 7 seed, moving on to the quarterfinals. Not sure if they even know yet, but they're going to be going to Portsmouth on Saturday night. They probably expected that. They beat up on Goffstown tonight. But the story here tonight, not a basketball game, really. I've got Brandon Land, Tyler Ford, and Jake Kennedy, 3 of the stars of the game. And I'll start with you, Brandon. It was obviously more about Tony Barksdale, who passed away, a friend and a former teammate.
Yeah, absolutely. We came out here, and obviously, it was emotional for us. Tony, such a good guy. Obviously the basketball game is important for us. We all love basketball. It's the playoffs, but to come as a school, to come, as a student body and really honor his family was here. That's what it was all about tonight, and I have the 42 jersey on for him. That's what he wore, but really, and I know Jake said this earlier, but we really all wore the 42 for him tonight because we just wanted to play for him.
And you actually wore number 41 too, because you got blood on it.
Yeah.
So you had to go 3 different numbers. I was confused in the scores book, but let's talk about the big guy here. I mean, you seemed inspired, and early they went to you on the low block, and you were able to take advantage. You ended up finishing with 21. I don't know if that's a season high for you, but you were certainly feeling it tonight.
Yeah, we were moving the ball well and just kind of running. We've been working on our like full court game and trying to run teams off the floor, and definitely showed tonight. And I was just making layups off these guys, passing me the ball, and team effort tonight. And Tony was definitely with us.
Well, definitely he was with you on that 3-pointer at the end of the 3rd quarter, just over half court. Jake Kennedy, we saw the highlight. Was that just like, I can't believe I did that?
Didn't even really hit me until everyone ran over to me. I looked up at the clock and realized there was 5 seconds left, and I let it go anyways. And he was watching me, and that was pretty ridiculous and felt really cool.
Tyler, you had a huge second quarter, scoring 11 of your 12 points in the first half. You had it going, and really, you guys broke it open behind your strong second quarter, I thought.
Yep. Yeah, I think when we talked about it all week. Tony was our teammate last year, and he's a teammate, he's a brother. And one thing Tony did was Tony was on the ground diving for balls. He was always the one to get the loose balls at practice, at loose balls in the game. He'd always bring the intensity up. And I think that was in our head the whole game, throughout pregame, and I think that put a spark to our play. And I think with that, we got to get fast breaks. We got all the 50-50 balls that we wanted, and I think that was the key point of us winning the game, was everyone through the bench was getting the loose balls and getting layups off of them.
Brandon, I'll ask you this final one. Can you keep it going? I mean, can you guys, you got the talent here if you put it all together. Tough task, obviously, in Portsmouth, but can you use this emotional high right now, this emotional help, maybe the help from above as well, to keep it going and win a championship?
Yeah, I know Tony's watching over us, and we're putting it together right now. And Coach said that the playoffs are a little bit about redemption, and we lost to Hanover in the last 2 weeks, and we lost to Portsmouth. And both those games we had players with the flu. Tyler and myself both had the flu both those games, but we want to show Hanover that we could beat them, and we did that tonight. And now we're going to go to Portsmouth, and they're a great team, but we're going to give it all we got.
All right, best of luck, guys, and thanks so much. It's been a tough night, but I think this game actually helped in making people feel better. So thanks to Brandon, thanks to Tyler and Jake. Souhegan winning it 55-33. Number 42, Tony, on the back. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Tim Winslow, head coach of the Hanover Marauders. Season ends tonight at the hands of Souhegan, 55-33. I know it's always tough to lose. It's always tough to lose in the playoffs when your season ends, but if there's one game you could actually lose and not feel really bad about it, especially considering what this team, Souhegan, has gone through, maybe tonight's the night?
Well, Souhegan played great tonight. They played really well, and you know, they were, the thing that was nice for them is they were able to just be kids and play the game and kind of put some other tragic events that have gone that they've been through behind, and you really have to, you know, you really have to respect that. They're just great. They play the game the way that's supposed to be played, and just a great group of kids, it seems to me. And it's disappointing that we lost, but you know, Souhegan played really well. You know, they were the better team tonight.
And you guys were without a couple of starters. I mean, you had Ryan O'Rourke out. I guess he's got pneumonia or something.
Yeah,
was in the hospital.
Today.
All right. Well, you're down him and Flory too.
Yeah, two of our starting five were down, and they're our best defenders. They're kind of our lockdown group, and John gives us a little more offensive element. What we needed tonight was we needed a third threat. Cyrus and Liam are great players, but they need that third threat, and we just struggled to find that third shooter to kind of open things up. You know, even if we have our two best players, we would have. These guys played. They were on a mission tonight.
It seemed like every bounce was going their way. You know, Jake Kennedy draining threes at the buzzer of the third quarter. I mean, if I told you before the game Brandon's going to score 8, how'd you be feeling?
Well, we talked about that in the locker room after the game, and I didn't know how many he had. I know he didn't have many, and I said if you had told me before the game we were going to shut Brendan down like we did, I would have felt really good about our situation, because I also think we really had a good. We knew what they were going to do. They didn't really do anything that we didn't expect. We just did not finish what we were supposed to do. And but when you get to the playoffs, players play, and then a couple people have to step up that you're not really expecting. And I know Mr. Kennedy's a very good player, but he played great tonight. And I know Tyler Ford is also another good player, but he stepped up tonight, and that's what you have to do when it comes to playoff games.
Tim Winslow, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you.